Hey, welcome to class. This class will be great for you if you're feeling stiff in your hips or your lower spine. You're not going to need any equipment, so let's get started. Good, so make your way to hands and knees onto all fours, stacking wrists in line with your shoulders, knees in line with your hips. Spread your fingers wide, press down with both hands. And then as you breathe in, look forwards, bring your navel towards the mat, lift your sitting bones. As you breathe out, round your spine, bring your chin towards your chest and curl your tailbone under. And then repeat, breathing in, look forwards, navel towards the mat, lift the sitting bones. As you breathe out, round your spine, hands press down, chin comes towards chest, tailbone curls under. Good, repeating. Feel your upper back, feel your mid back, feel your lower back as you move. Good. And then come back to center, take your hands further forwards, bring your hips towards your wrists, and then circle your hips around. So big circles around and around. And as you do this, feel the feeling of your body, noticing any sensations that you feel. Changing directions when you're ready, take the hips around the other way. Good. And then come back to center. Walk your hands back so that the wrists are in line with the shoulders again. And then slide your right leg back, toes to the floor. Press down with both hands strongly and then raise your right leg. Good. Now keep that left outer hip hugging in. So don't swing the hips out to the left side, but start to arc your right foot around and tap the right toes down to the floor as high up as you can. And then bring the leg back to center, keep it elevated, and then repeat. So imagine you're drawing a half semicircle with that right foot, taking the foot wide, keeping the leg straight, and then arc it back to center. Good. A couple more times on your own. So you're keeping the pelvis fixed. It's just the leg that's moving out to the side and then back to center. Very good. Now, next time you bring the leg wide, stay there, land the foot, pivot the toes out and the heel in, sole of the foot to the ground. Take your hands forwards, bring your hips towards your wrists, and then rock your weight back towards your heel, keeping that right leg straight. Good. And then rock forwards and backwards on your own, in your own time. As you do this, dig your right heel into the ground. Good. And then you can either stay as is or lift your toes. So that right heel digs down, the right toes flex towards the shin. And then as that right heel digs down, feel like you're almost trying to pull your right heel towards the left inner thigh as you move. So you're engaging the leg whilst it's stretching. Very nice. Good. Lovely. Return the sole of your right foot to the floor. Walk your hands back towards the knee so that the wrists are in line with the shoulders again. And then bring your right leg back. Elevate it again. And then bend the knee to the floor. Before the second side, keep your knees down. Keep your hips high. Take both hands a giant step forward. So hands can be wide, fingers spread, both arms reach. And then as your hands press down, feel like you're trying to press your chest towards the ground whilst your sitting bones lift. And then a slow, steady breath there. A feeling of lengthening your spine, a feeling of opening the front body. Breathing there. Good. Walk your hands back towards you. Come back to that all fours position, so onto hands and knees. Hands pressed down, left leg slides back, toes to the floor. Hug your right outer hip in, and then elevate the left leg. Circle or arc that left leg around, touching the left toes to the floor, and then bring the leg back to center again. So you're keeping that outer right hip hugging in as you arc the left toes out to the left side, and then you bring the leg back to center. A couple more times. Taking the leg wide, and then bring it back to center. Very good. And then next time you take it wide, stay there. Drop the sole of the foot down. Pivot the toes out and the heel in. Sole of the foot to the floor. Walk your hands forward so that the wrists are forwards of the shoulders. Rock your weight towards your wrists, and then rock your weight back towards your heel. All the while you're digging the sole of that left foot into the ground. Lengthening through the inner left leg. Good. And then you either stay with the sole of that left foot on the ground or lift your toes. So those left toes flex towards the shin, the left heel digs down, and almost feel like you're trying to pull that left heel towards the opposite inner knee. Very nice. Good. Now return the sole of your foot back to the floor. Arc that left leg back around, and then knee to the floor. Take it back to child's pose. So knees wide, big toes together, bottom back towards your heels. Stretch both of the arms out in front of you. As you bring your arms out in front, interlace your fingers. Reach your knuckles away so that the arms are as straight as they can be. Roll onto the outer left arm and the outer left shoulder so that your right shoulder lifts and your chest turns to the right. Good. And then come back to center and then second side. So roll onto the outer right arm, outer right shoulder. Left shoulder lifts, chest turns to the left. Good. And then a couple of times on your own. So you're coming from one side and then to the other side. Lengthening through the outer arm, through the outer side of the waist, all the way down to the lower spine. Good. Now release your hands. Take your forearms to the ground, separate the hands. Slide onto your tummy and come into a Sphinx position. So elbows are in line with your shoulders. Your wrists are in line with the elbows, fingers spread, hands pressed down, and then pull the chest up and away from the floor. So as the hands press, the breastbone pulls up and forwards. Very nice. Now this might feel plenty. If this feels plenty, stay as is. Otherwise, from the top edges of your mat, stretch the arms wide. So hands are spreading, elbows are up, forearms are up, hands press, squeeze your glutes, and then pull the chest up and away from the floor. Very nice. And then a steady, slow breath here. Very good. Rebend the elbows. Flare your elbows wide. Take your head to your hands. Release your glutes and take a slow breath all the way down to the tip of your tailbone. So you're sending your breath low, breathing in slowly. Lower back rising. Breathing out slowly, lower back falling. One more slow and steady breath. Good. Now start to press into your hands and take your bottom back towards your heels to child's pose. So again, knees can be wide, big toes together. Let the arms stretch out in front, but this time let the arms be passive. Let the head release. Breathe in there. Good. And then make your way back to all fours. Position your hands forwards of your shoulders, hands wide, fingers spread. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees and come into downward facing dog. And as you come into down dog, doesn't matter if the heels are far off the ground. Bend one knee, lengthen through the other leg, and then bend the other knee and lengthen through the other leg. So one knee bends, one leg straightens. So you're easing into the hamstrings and into the calf muscles. Both hands press down, bottom lifts. Good. Feel whatever you feel through the backs of the legs. Good. And then when you're ready, let both of your legs be still. Bend the knees a little. Press down with both of your hands and lift your bottom up and back away from your hands. So hands drive the floor away, feet press down, bottom lifts. And then a slow and steady breath. Good, lovely. And then lower your knees. Come back to child's pose. Bottom back towards your heels. Release the arms. Breathe in there. Good. Now from here, start to press into your hands. Make your way to lie down on your back. And as you come to lie down, take your feet wide. So take your feet as wide as your mat, if not wider. Knees bent, soles of your feet to the floor. Heels in, toes out. Keep your right leg fixed, so don't move your right knee. Roll the inner left knee towards the ground. Good. And then come back to center, and then second side. Left knee stays as is. Roll the inner right knee towards the ground, and you're coming onto the inner edge of that right foot. Good. And then come back to center, and then repeat. So you're internally rotating the thigh bone. Lengthening through the outer hips. Good. And then come back to center. Now walk your feet back so that the feet are parallel. And then bring your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around your right shin and squeeze in. And then you can straighten your left leg out onto your mat. As that right knee squeezes in, soften the shoulders, relax your face, and take a slow, steady breath here. Good. And then keeping your left hand on that right leg, reach the right arm wide out to the side, and we'll take the right knee over to the left into a twist. So you can use that left hand to guide your right leg across, and then breathe here. You can always hook your right toes into the back of the left knee crease to offer a little bit more support. Breathing slowly there. Good, and then come back to center, and then we'll switch sides. So your right leg straightens, your left knee bends. Interlace the fingers around that left shin, squeeze in. Now keeping your right hand on that left leg, reach the left arm wide out to the side and take that left knee over to the right. So that left hand can position on the outer knee and then you draw it across. You can hook those left toes into the back of the right knee crease and then breathe slowly there. Feel that space through your left side, breathing slowly. Good. And then slowly back to center. Bring both of your knees in towards your chest, go hands onto knees, and then circle the knees around. Changing directions when you're ready, take it around the other way. Good. Now straighten both of your legs out onto your mat. Let the feet drop wide out to the side. Release your shoulders down away from your ears. Arms can come wide out to the side with the palms facing up. Let the back body release. Let the front body soften. And take a slow, steady breath. Allowing everything to drop and release. A feeling of softening. Releasing. And letting go. Now begin to deepen your breath. If you'd like to stay here for longer, please stay for as long as you'd like to stay. Otherwise, if it's time for you to move, gently roll to your side and come up to sit. Finding a seat with a tall spine. Take a slow and steady breath. Take a moment there to feel the feeling of your body. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Well done. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Well done for taking care of yourself. And I will see you very soon.